Hey family! Welcome back to the channel where we keep it real, raw, and always a little bit scandalous. If you love island drama, deep life lessons, and stories that make you laugh, think, and gasp, then you're in the right place. Side Chick Chronicles, the day the wife and Matey showed up together. Introduction. The quiet hum of mourning filled the air as guests trickled into the grand church, draped in black, heads bowed in solemn respect. It was supposed to be a peaceful send-off for Donovan Don Mitchell, a well-known businessman, husband, and, unbeknownst to some, a master of double lives. No one suspected that this funeral would turn into an unforgettable showdown between the two women who loved him most, his wife and his side chick. The funeral showdown. Donovan Mitchell had always been the picture of success, wealthy, charming, and seemingly devoted to his family. His wife, Camille, stood by his side for 20 years, raising their 3 children and managing their luxurious home. But across town, there was Nadine, Donovan's secret lover of 7 years, the woman who knew a different side of him, the man who promised her a future she never realized was a fantasy. On this fateful morning, Camille arrived at the church with her children, grief evident in her weary eyes. She had spent the last week planning every detail of this funeral, ensuring her husband received a respectable farewell. But just as the service was about to begin, a stir in the crowd signaled something unexpected. Through the heavy wooden doors of the church walked Nadine, head held high, dressed in an elegant black dress, with a teenage boy by her side, a boy who bore an uncanny resemblance to the man in the casket. The moment everything collapsed, whispers spread like wildfire. Gasps filled the room as the realization hit: Donovan had a son that no one knew about. Camille's heart pounded in her chest as Nadine walked confidently down the aisle and took a seat in the row behind the family. The pastor shifted uneasily, the tension thick enough to cut with a knife. Camille stood, her voice calm but laced with fury. "I don't know who you are, but this is my husband's funeral. You need to leave." Nadine, steady and unshaken, met her eyes. "I'm not going anywhere. My son deserves to say goodbye to his father just as much as yours do." The congregation held its breath. The weight of the secret Donovan carried had just exploded in the most public way possible. Then, from the back of the church, another voice cut through the tension. "Anu beta mek space, cause me de ya too." All heads whipped around. Standing at the entrance was a third woman, older and elegant, her arms folded across her chest. And beside her? Another young boy, another spitting image of Donovan. The battle for Donovan's fortune. The chaos didn't end at the funeral, it was just the beginning. As the news of Donovan's secret family spread, his will became the next battlefield. Camille, now humiliated and furious, demanded everything, claiming she had spent the most years with Donovan and raised their children in what she thought was a legal marriage. But Marcia, the true legal wife, wasn't about to let Camille or Nadine walk away with a cent. "Me was D first, me was D wife, and me deserve everything," Marcia snapped, her attorney standing firmly beside her. "Anu a side piece, anu lucky if anu get 1 red cent." Nadine, holding back tears, squared her shoulders. "My son is just as much Donovan's child as yours. He has a right to his father's estate." But just when it seemed like the battle lines were drawn, another bombshell dropped. Donovan's lawyer revealed that Donovan had left a 4th beneficiary in his will, a woman named Simone. At that moment, the doors opened, and in walked Simone, a tall, poised woman with striking features, the same smirk Donovan often wore when he knew he was in trouble. "Sorry I'm late," Simone said coolly. "Looks like Daddy had a lot of explaining to do. Too bad he's not here to do it." The courtroom clashed. The courtroom was packed, tensions rising as the battle over Donovan's fortune reached its peak. With multiple families fighting for a piece of the estate, the judge struggled to maintain order. But just when it seemed like Camille, Marcia, and Nadine had settled into their respective corners, the door swung open again. A woman in a tailored suit walked in, carrying a briefcase. "Excuse me, Your Honor," she said, placing documents before the judge. "I represent the secret offshore account holder of Donovan's estate." Everyone turned in shock. "Who the hell are you?" Camille demanded. The woman smirked. You can call me Lisa. Donovan's other daughter. Gasps filled the room as Lisa produced DNA test results, proving she was also Donovan's child. The judge, now overwhelmed with the sheer complexity of the case, ruled that Donovan's entire estate would be liquidated and divided evenly among all the legitimate heirs. No one walked away with the full fortune, and in the end, Donovan's deceit destroyed the very legacy he thought he was building. The ultimate revenge. Just when the others thought they had secured their share of the estate, Lisa made her move. She had been working behind the scenes, gathering evidence of fraud, hidden accounts, and shady business deals. With one swift legal motion, she froze every asset and had the entire estate placed under her sole control as the executor of Donovan's will. Camille, Nadine, Marcia, and Simone were left stunned as Lisa revealed the final blow. Every account Donovan owned was in her name, every offshore property signed over to her. "You all wanted a piece of my father's wealth?" Lisa said, adjusting her sleek black suit. "Well, I was the only one smart enough to take it." With the stroke of a pen, she cut everyone out and walked away with everything. Lisa's last play months passed, and Lisa ruled the estate with an iron grip. She moved into Donovan's penthouse, restructured his businesses, and turned them into legitimate ventures. Under her leadership, the Mitchell empire flourished. But she wasn't done yet. Lisa requested a private reading of an updated version of Donovan's will. A sealed letter, hidden for years, was discovered in his private safe. The attorney opened it and read, "To my smartest child, if you found this, you're the only one who deserves the keys to my legacy. I didn't do right by all of you, but you were the only one who learned from my mistakes. Led wisely." Tears welled up in Lisa's eyes, not from emotion, but from finality. She had played the long game, and won. She invited Camille, Nadine, Marcia, Simone, and the other children to a private estate meeting, not to make amends, but to show them what power looked like when wielded properly. She walked into the room, bold and unapologetic. "I didn't take control out of spite," she began. "I took it because all of you were too busy fighting over scraps to build something of your own. This empire needed a leader, not a victim." The women sat in silence as Lisa offered them a final choice: walk away with nothing, or work under her leadership and earn their place back. Most walked away. Camille stayed. Nadine hesitated, then nodded. Marcia muttered, "Me done," and left. Simone? She never showed up. Lisa sat behind Donovan's desk, alone but victorious. In today's society, many people are living double lives, hiding secrets behind masks of success, love, and loyalty. However, the truth is that lies always catch up. Whether it's in love, money, or family, deception creates chaos, and the people who suffer most are the innocent ones left behind. What we learn from Donovan's story is this: honesty is still power. Legacy is more than money, it's integrity. And smart women protect themselves emotionally, legally, and financially. As women, we must ask the hard questions, look beyond the surface, and never ignore red flags. In a world full of distractions and deception, wisdom and self-respect will always keep you one step ahead. So if you're watching this and you're in a complicated situation, remember, you don't have to fight over crumbs when you can bake your own bread. Don't forget to like, comment your thoughts, and subscribe for more jaw-dropping stories that blend real-life situations with powerful lessons.